my respected elders, and my dear brothers and sisters. I welcome all of you with the Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on all of you. It's a pleasure for me to be back in Qatar, alhamdulillah, after 4 years. And it's an honor for me to give a talk in this Qatar village. And the topic of this evening's talk of mine is, does God exist? This talk of mine is mainly meant for 3 categories of people. Number 1, those that do not believe in the existence of God. Those people who are atheists. The second category is those people who are agnostic. They do not comment whether God exists or does not exist. And the third category of people, those who believe in the existence of God, but they cannot convince somebody else that God exists. Whenever I meet an atheist who does not believe in the existence of God, the first thing I do is I congratulate him. Many people will wonder that why am I congratulating an atheist? The reason I congratulate an atheist is because most of the Christians, they are Christians because their father is a Christian. Most of the Hindus are Hindus because father is a Hindu. He is a Jew because father is a Jew. Many Muslims are Muslims because father is a Muslim. This atheist, he is thinking. He may be having relatives who believe in God, but he does not agree with the existence of God. He is thinking. That's the reason I congratulate him. I congratulate him because this atheist, he has said the first part of the Islamic creed, Islamic Shahadah, La ilaha, there is no God. To this atheist, half my job is done. To the other people who believe in a God which is not the correct concept of God, first I have to prove to him the God he or she is worshipping is a false God. So half my time goes in proving the God that they worship is not a true God. With this atheist, half my job is done. He has already said the first part of the Islamic creed, the first part of the Shahadah, that is La ilaha, there is no God. The only thing I have to do is illallah, which I shall do inshallah. Whenever I meet an atheist, I ask him the first question, that what is the definition of God? If someone says there is no God, he should know the definition of God, otherwise he cannot say that God does not exist. For example, if I say, this is a pen, for anyone to say this is not a pen, he or she should know the definition of pen. That person may or may not know what I'm carrying in the hand, but for anyone to say this is not a pen, he or she should know the definition of pen. Otherwise, you cannot say this is not a pen. There may be some people who will argue with me and say that, Brother Zakir, since I know this is a book, I can very well say this is not a pen. If you know this is a book, that does not mean, and if you don't know the meaning of pen, you cannot say this is not a pen. It is very dangerous. Why? For example, If I say, this is a kitab. Now someone who knows English, he knows that this is a book. And if he doesn't know Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, he will say this is not a kitab. Because kitab in Arabic, kitab in Hindi, kitab in Urdu means a book. So if I say, this is a kitab, for you to say this is not a kitab, you should know the meaning of kitab, otherwise you cannot say this is not a kitab. You may know this is a book. But kitab in Arabic or Hindi or Urdu means a book. Similarly, when someone says there is no God, he should know the definition of God. Otherwise, he cannot say there is no God. And when we ask these atheists, what is the definition of God? They tell us about what other human beings think what God is. And that atheist will tell me that, God, when I hear about other people talking about God, that a God makes mistakes, a God requires rest, a God gets tired, a God requires to sleep, a God requires to eat, a God that can be defeated, a God that can die. So this atheist, he starts thinking that all these human beings who worship God, who has got human qualities like me, why should I believe in such a God who can make a mistake, who requires rest, who can get tired, who requires to sleep, who can be defeated, who can die? So this atheist, he has a concept of God depending how other people portray the definition of God. For example, if a non-Muslim comes and tells me that, Brother Zakir, I do not believe in Islam, which is a religion which is merciless, a religion which promotes terrorism, a religion which does not give rights to the woman, a religion which is against modern science, a religion which is illogical. So I will tell him, even I will not believe in a religion which is a merciless religion. Even I will not believe in a religion which is a religion of terrorism, which is a religion which does not give rights to the woman, which is a religion which is against modern science, a religion which is illogical. But I, being a student of knowledge, I will tell him that you have a misconception regarding Islam. Islam is not a religion which is a merciless religion. In fact, it is the most merciful religion. Every chapter of the glorious Quran, every surah of the glorious Quran begins with the beautiful formula, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Islam is not a religion which promotes terrorism. One verse of the Quran is sufficient to prove this concept wrong. It's mentioned in the Quran, in Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 32, that if anyone kills any other human being, unless it be for murder or for spreading corruption in the land, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. And if anyone saves any other human being, it is as though he has saved the whole nation. Quran is the only religious book on the face of the earth which says that if anyone kills any other human being, an innocent human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, it is as though he has killed the whole of humanity. And if any person, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, saves any other human being, whether Muslim or non-Muslim, it is as though he has saved the whole of humanity. This verse is not